Hello world, this is JWP, J-Board Primo Beats, coming to you live from my living room. For around 20 years, I've been mixing and mastering music, rapping, songwriting. Recently started singing, along with everything else that goes with music production, such as graphic design and editing, photo editing, video editing. And for around 15 years, I've been using SynthEdit to make my own audio plugins. Check out my website, jwpsite.com, for my social links, latest news and updates, and public offerings. If you'd like to hire me for music mixing, mastering, instrumentals, or custom plugin work, I can be reached at jwpmas@gmail.com. Alright, so it has been quite some time since I've done a SynthEdit documentation. It's just I've been focusing on mainly my main product lines and haven't really circled back to it. So I'm continuing where I left off, and where I left off was distortion. A lot has changed. It's been 2 years, and yeah, I'll just get right into it. So on to the next bit. Just let me full screen this. Full screen. And again, none of this is pre-acted. How would we say rehearsed? So it's just going to be me reading. And some standards have changed. I got a better camera. I'm not sure, better microphone, whatever. Getting ugly with lo-fi effects. With up to 192 sample rate and a 24-bit depth, modern-day workstations sculpt sound with surgical precision. Back in the digital audio stone age, hardware and software capabilities were far more primitive. Sampling rates of 16, 10, or 8 kilohertz, sometimes with a 12 or 8-bit depth, were the norm. If you want to let users get down and dirty, help them recreate these lo-fi sounds with resampling or bit reduction. Figure 2.102 depicts a simple resampler based on sample and hold module from Insert Modifiers group. It samples and holds the input voltage, triggering the hold plug, and oscillator module controls the triggering rate. Rate determines resampling rate. So figure 2.102, which CA, so resampler 2.SE1, shows a knob plugging into an oscillator. That oscillator is plugging into, from the audio output, well, the knob is plugged into the pitch. It's also plugged into the pitch of a one-pole low pass after the sample and hold, and then the oscillator audio output is going into the hold pin, and an input-output mod is coming in from the external source into the audio, and that output is going into the one-pole low pass, which again has the same input from the knob into the pitch, and that goes out to an output from the knob. This structure generates considerable aliasing noise above the resampling's frequency. You may clean up the mess a little using filters. Figure 2.01, figure 2.102 also shows a simple 1-PAL low-pass filter used to smooth the top-end frequencies after resampling. A quantizer, Insert Modifiers quantizer module, is great for simulating low bit rates. It constrains the input signal to voltage range is specified by the step size plugin. So if you have a step size if you set the step size to 5 volts, the output values will be -10, -5, 0, 5, and 10. This is similar to a 2-bit resolution, no pun intended, enabling values of 2 to the power 2 equals 4 different values. A switch with fixed values will lets users select step size for different bit resolutions. Figure 2.103 illustrates a bit crusher effect with a list for selecting bit depth. In the fixed value pyramid, every number is half the value below it. This means every step increases depth by 1 bit. Okay, so then we have figure 2.103, a bit crusher structure. File bitcrusher1.sc1, We see a list entry going into a switch, many to 1, and then we have fixed values plugged into that switch of various values from 10 to 5, 2.5, and then we have divisions of those. And then we have on the other side, which is plugged into the switch, 16-bit, 15, 14, 13, and it decrements into 2, and that goes into a quantizer into the step size, and then we have an IO mod plugged into that quantizer signal in, and the signal out is going to an IO mod, and as well as scope. We see in the scope there looks like a waveform that's kind of stepping down. I'm not sure which waveform that is. And I think that's it for that section. So just a brief section, another way to get back into it. I do have some notes here, heads up. No, that's the wrong section. Okay, heads up, an SC quantizer module is fully capable with the inbuilt quantizer, but consumes far less CPU power. Let's putnam's low-pass bit crush module creates the same lo-fi effects, resampling, and bit reduction. So then it says go to files, resampler 1, 2, and bit crusher 1. I will specifically be looking at resampler 2 and bit crusher 1. I do have some time, so I can jump into it. Oh, I didn't want to push that button. I do have the resampler 2 already loaded, as we can see. Of course, I can't zoom into this. And then I want to get 1.4 open. I am still using 1.4. In this day and age, 1.5 is apparently stable and 1.6 isn't better. However, I prefer 1.4 just because it has the VST2 system and it's a little more understandable. And the last time I tried 1.5, it still had a lot of like visual glitches, and I don't know if that's been rectified. Anyway, what I need to do here is actually need to do a BRB so I can find my previous file. I thought I was just going to be able to jump right in. Okay, so here is the distortion. I've already named it resampler 2, so I'm actually going to rename the container resampler 2 here. And again, the reason I reloaded this is so I can get this top bar in there. It's just meant to look like previous versions of SynthEdit here. So I have this running. And what does this look like? Probably like just all jumbled. It usually is. So that's pretty much it for that. It's just a one knob thing. However, there's like a limitation of how small I can make a plugin. So what I want to do, let's see if there's any conversion here. I need to unlock this right. And then, okay, so there's a volts to hertz here. Just trying to figure out how this works here. I might already have a volts to hertz. Well, what is it here? It's based on this, right? And this is 1 volt per octave. And I'm pretty sure that these are already set up like that. 1 volt per octave, yes. And I do also want a stereo version, so 1 low pass. I just want just the low pass here, so I can dump everything else. Just that one knob. It's been a little while since I've been in SynthEdit, so I'll have to excuse my lack of efficiency. I mean, I'm still doing things in SynthEdit, just not as frequent as I used to. Okay, so this, I want to say just frequency now. Can I just change it here? Yes, okay. And then I want to resize this. So there is like a minimum size, or yeah, like a minimum size, and it's not really based on how small I can make the build. It's really how small, like how much space I have to fit everything in, kind of thing. So, what is that? Let's bring this over. I think that's it. Is that it? One more. And then this stuff. I think it's still like unbalanced though, like it's not actually, one side is bigger than the other, right? So, how am I going to do that? what I can do is I can bring in a subcontrol rectangle, and then I'll size that up to this, like that, right? So it's pretty much already there. One more. Looks like one on each side. That. It looks like the top one actually doesn't line up to the grid. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just go like this. This is fine. Enough here, and then I'll put it here. And then this guy can sit at the very edge of that. Like that. And then these guys can come over to the edge of that kind of thing. Oh, still too far. Is that it? I think it's like off by one. Okay. And there's a white bar here, right? I can come to the edge of this like that. Still too far. That. Okay, and then this is sort of a tint. It's here. Okay, and then all I have to do is get rid of that and move this control to the middle. That should be where it is. I mean, the numbers look off, but I think like once it's full blast, it yeah, it looks more centered. It's even kind of like bumping into the lettering. Oh, well. I think it's just the decimal places. I could probably get rid of the decimal place. I don't know why I have decimal places there. I'm going to save before doing anything, because sometimes things get funky. This one, and then decimal place is 0. Then it should not overlap. It's pretty close, but it's fine. Okay, and then like a default of, I guess 20K is fine. Okay, and that's the resampler. That's pretty much what it shows, right? Here. Well, there's that pole. Yes, oh, an oscillator. Okay. What is the oscillator settings? We have a ramp. 1 volt per octave. Okay. So I want... And of course, this is going to be a little funny because it won't sleep, I don't think, properly. It requires... I think it's just an envelope that requires for to sleep. Or MIDI to CV, I can't remember which it is. To sleep properly when it's not running. Okay, and then this is output. This goes to pitch, right? So where does it go? It goes to the most important part, sample and hold, which is a modifier. And then that actually goes... I could save myself some time and containerize it, but I think it's just as well. I do it manually. Okay, so this is a left and right, and then this comes here like that. And of course, this is 1 volt per octave. And then that goes there, yeah, and then these come out here, like that, and then I want my outputs. I just feel like it's been too long. Everything else looks good. Okay. So now I do believe it is ready. Just considering the situation here. Did I have any other like naming format for the pins? Need to open it now. It's on my desktop. Was it though? Or did I open it from its previous location? That. So did I name the pins? I think I matched the names of, yeah, signal and output. I matched the names of the original project, right? Okay, Okay, so signal output, is that what they're called here? Input spare. So just input, output. Input. Of course, it doesn't jump to that, like that. No, I don't want a slash. Okay, and then it's good. As far as I can tell, I just want to take another look at the GUI. It's fine. I do need to rename. So let's save first. Rename the pins and stuff. SED1 distortion 1. So LoFi L1. Should I say resampler 2? Resampler 2. And hopefully it's not the same pin. This is product. I don't know why it didn't follow the name of the container. 2. Okay, so that's good. Save file, yes, so it saves those code names, and then let's head over to FL Studio. It feels like loading. Sure is taking. I think it's just loaded. It just sits in the background. I don't know why it does that. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It's still not drawing. There we go. I don't know why that took so long. Okay, so refresh. Hopefully it doesn't take half hour. Should be fast. And then what do I want to do here? I'll just do like a little synth kind of thing. I might as well put my headphones on. I got them handy, so there's no like bleed into the microphone. But, oh, excuse me. Then okay, let's do. I like GMS, so let's go. Actually, there's a lot of newer things, right? Let's do. Do I have toxic? I do. Okay, so let's do some toxic. And then we'll like bit crush it a little bit. Okay, so it's going through the wrong channel. Give me headphones. Is that coming through the stream? Looks like it is. Yeah, looks like it is. Okay. And then just like give me like a short or sequence, I guess. Dirty texture. Oh, that's really loud for me. Okay, so that's fine. Just wherever it is, slow it down. Okay, and then I will bring in. I don't like a lot of like a reverb, so I'm just gonna kill the delay and reverb. Flanger's fine. Is there no reverb? Is that one? Yeah, okay, so it was just the delay I was hearing. And hopefully I don't get a DCMA for that because it's such a common preset, right? Like it's a sequence and it's preset, so hopefully it doesn't get triggered somewhere. Like even like the simplest beats and stuff get triggered. It's so dumb. People try to claim like, oh, that's my basic beat. Okay, here we go. Nothing? It's just toast. Okay, so it's totally broken. Is it this? Yeah, okay, so if it's too high, it taps out. I don't know why it taps out if it's too high. I think it's the filters they can't push past, right? Okay, so I'm just going to repair that real quick. Actually, yeah, no, let's repair it real quick. It'll only take like a second. So let's say 19,000 is the top out. No, that's the wrong screen. Let's go here. So I don't know why they do that. I think it's just like internally or something. Okay, so 20,000 high value. I think 19,000. I mean, if you have it loaded, you shouldn't be expecting high fidelity. So yeah, 19,000. I'll just do another build real quick. Save file, yes, and then that should hold it in place so it doesn't break down again. And then I can at least make it up to 20,000 or 19,000, right? And that's pretty decent. Anyway, let's go. I'll kill the frequency. And essentially what this is like a LoFi, right? This is a LoFi thing when it's just taking a is it not working properly? Because I kind of feel like it isn't working properly. Oscillator sample and hold. What's going on? What are you doing? Nothing. Pitch. It's the same thing. It's cleaning it up, right? And like sometimes that aliasing is actually kind of interesting. It does like a really cool sound. Oh, you can hear it aliasing. It's trying to alias, but like the filter's killing it. So let's just look at it in Wave Candy. Yeah, you can still see all that aliasing. Brutal. Even like with it full blast, it's still really aliasing. Let me like stretch the Wave Candy up some more like this. There we go. And that's a little bit more general range, right? Like this is the keyboard, right? C to 9. You can see all that mess in there. Isn't there like a preset? Didn't I select the preset? No, not a vector scope. Okay, give me no. Spectrum. Okay, and yeah, it just gives me this little window that is not really like set up the best way. So not the greatest preset. Let's go to some more range like that, scale like this. Now I can see like it's being mirrored back at certain parts. It's like the filter isn't even doing anything. It is definitely an interesting one to put on LFO if you have it normally controlled. Alright, okay. So that is LoFi. What I want to do is I just want to like kick the filters and I want to see what's happening because the filters don't really seem like they're even doing anything. So I won't save it after I adjust this. Can you not? Thank you. And then let's kick the filters like that. Export. Oh, I need to like remove it from FL. Or did I completely? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Let's go delete. Okay. And like, yeah, it's not even say file no. It's not even like the filters aren't even doing anything. It doesn't seem like. We'll find out like right now, depending on how much yeah, how brutal it gets. Okay, so let's go back here, bring in the resampler. Now the filters are broken. And let's go. Okay. So yeah, there is definitely a change there. We can see that there is more aliasing, like it's reflecting again and again and again kind of thing. But like even with the filters, it didn't really seem to do like a whole lot. It's like I could, I'm just keeping things the way they are, but like as a final build, if I'm to use this algorithm, I would include like a switch to turn the filters on or off. Oh, of course. Okay, so no, and I gotta drop this, and I'll go ahead and get into the bit crusher. Bit crusher. So I'm gonna jump out here. LoFi. Oh, it's not even, isn't it? I didn't bring in the bit crusher file. Okay, so I do still have it open here. I don't know why I don't have them. They're on the desktop. Okay, so I'm just gonna load them from the desktop then, because I don't want to save to the same space kind of thing. Save changes and no. And then, yeah, I'm just going to like load up the resampler again. Oh no, it didn't get built again because it was loaded. So I'm just going to head and export it again, this time with the filters, right? And we'll see the difference sort of thing. It'd be nice to do an A/B, but I just don't have that ability right now. And let's go ahead, play. So we'll see there's like only one reflection. No, it actually looks the same, eh? Yeah, it's just not even, the filters are not doing anything. I don't know why. Like, I mean, the signal is going through it, but it's still like aliasing. I put them in the right order, right? Filters last. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. It's really strange that it's like the aliasing is making it through. Maybe I have them set up to volt proc. If no, they're where they're supposed to be. I don't know. It's not very strong. I'd need like a total complete A/B test to see. I'm sure there's like a minor difference, but we shouldn't see anything above like this number, right? So for example, if it's 8K, it should look like this. Let's push this like this. Like it should be like that, right? Interesting, I'm like still seeing, oh, because it's before the wave candy. Okay, so let's move it up. Or it's after the wave candy. Yes, we can see it's supposed to be more like that. I mean, what would we say? Optimally, like something like that. But it's just not. The filters aren't responding properly. So just to like do a holistic run of it, let me skip sample and hold. Because I just want to see like why things aren't running as expected. It's still like really pushing that aliasing. Maybe the filters are just too weak. Maybe that's the difference. No save. Or what I'm thinking is just like the translation between. Yeah, no, it's so okay. It's running. That's why I kick it away. Right. Okay. So they are like running, and they're just not as tight as and we can hear that aliasing isn't there no longer. It's just not as tight as something like maybe the Band or the Butterworth or the what's it called? FL parametric EQ. It's not as tight, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. But I just want to double check here that I'm not doing some sort of funny transition here. Hertz to octave. Yeah, no, that's right, right? That's totally right. So What I could do alternatively is just turn it off and leave it as octave, but it's fine. Getting into, do I have it loaded? Getting into the bit crusher here. And then hopefully this works out a little better. I'm just going to rename this bit crusher 1. Crusher 1, let's copy that file name. Save as, so I don't save over the previous one. And again, I want to retain that header. So I'll do that. And what do we have for bit crusher? Okay, so we got a big switch here. It'd be nice to like just bring that in. Maybe I'll do like a BRB for this part, and then I'll just type in all those values. But I'll get it set up first. So I'll do the layout. Demonstrate the layout, and then yeah. Multiply? I don't know why multiply. Why multiply? Multiply by 3. Why are we multiplying the signal by 3? Does it show that in the book? No, it doesn't, eh? Weird. So I'm not going to include that. I don't know why it's multiplying by 3. Maybe it was just something I did by accident. I don't know. Okay, so let's get building here. I'll start the basic bit. This is just a list entry. And then just pulling everything. Yes. So let's pull everything, including knob. And then there is like a prefab for list entry. Get this out of my ear. That's that same one. No, I think it's actually under controls. It's like list entry 2 or something. No. I thought this was a prefab. I guess I thought wrong. Text entry, list box, list entry 4. I think that's just that one piece, right? Old, maybe list box. And I remember it being a prefab, like it was part of slider switch. Nope. Well, so much for, you know, getting it done easily. Looks like I'm going to have to build it. Yeah, no, I don't see it. So I'm just going to have to build it. So I'll deal with that in a second. For now, I'll just have the list entry here. So it looks like this. Like I'm sure like I have this somewhere. List entry 2. I thought it was in here. It's like a prefab. Oh well. Okay, so list entry there, and now I want a switch. Switches many to 1. I don't know if that's the same thing. Pretty sure this is just under modifiers, flow control, and then many to 1. And that sits here, right? And then this control controls that. However, I do require a list memory, patch memory list to count, to keep track of what is being selected. So I'm just going to line that up for now. Get that lined up, and then this controls this, and then fixed values, right? Controls fixed values. Fixed values volts. And then these get connected like that, right? How many times? 18 times, 16 times it looks like, because there's no 1. So I'll just do that right quick. 3, 4, 5, just to demonstrate that's how that runs. And then it looks like everything else is pretty much there. I have my IO mod here. Now I want to connect that to quantizer. Quantizer is again under modifiers. Quantizer there, and again I'll want 2. Like so, and I want my left and right, which again is probably just input, titled input. Do I have anything after? I have the scope. So what I'll do for the scope is I'll divide by 2, because then that just gives me like a cleaner signal. I mean, I can use just one signal, but I might as well. Won't subtract. Let's go divide, delete that. And then I want a control scope. Is that where scope is? Yes. Scope is there. And then I take both of them and I put them in this first one. And then divide by 2. So it's 2 signals divided by 2, right? Now, step size comes from the switch menu. And again, I'm going to skip that multiplier because I don't know why that's there. And then divide by 2, that's just for the scope. And then I want my left and right signal out. And then the inputs are called input, output. So signal in, this is input. Again, inputs. And then outputs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a BRB and I'll go in and I'll start plugging in all these other values here, just so it's not. So I've gone ahead and touched up the selector, the arrows looking like the original. I'll include the scope for now. In like a build that I want to make, I want to include a scope more likely than not. I'll go ahead and save that. And of course I got to change out the stuff here. I'm just going to grab this file name and then export that and that. This is SEB1. I'm not sure if it's conflicting with anything else. It should be fine. Let's go ahead and save or export and save, and then we'll get into FL Studio here. I gotta do another quick rescan. rescan, refresh, and it's loading. Done. I'm gonna drop the resampler completely. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch up the preset here. Let's look at fight. What's fight? Let's get something a little different, maybe. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, and then I want to get rid of that delay, right? And ready to go for the most part. It's too low. Let's reset to the key here. It's still kind of low. It's better. No. Let's bring in the bit crusher and see how that sounds. I can set this 18, and it's like, I think standard is like 16-bit, like before you start to notice anything. So right now it's at 17, so we shouldn't notice anything. And as we like decrease, they're backwards. Should start to hear bit reduction around here. Yeah, we can start to hear noise. It's starting to mess with the signal. Adding like level of distortion. You can see things are starting to square out. After which point we just get into like severe levels. So 2-bit is pretty much just on or off. So yeah, every once in a while it'll just kick in or out. Like we have barely anything there. There is actually a way to translate or to resample repeat depth a signal into 2 bits and actually make it sound like right now we can't hear anything, right? It's because it's not optimized. But in the Pokemon game, apparently the Pokemon voices, the screams or the calls or whatever, were actually 2 bits. No, the Pikachu version was, and they managed to do all the Pikachu voices in like 2-bit, and then they had this like technique to do 2-bit, and it was just like super efficient storage. Of course, it was the most horrendous sounding thing. Okay, so my but there's a video on it on YouTube somewhere. I can't remember what it was called. I'm not going to reference it, and have to look it up yourself. But yeah, 2-bit is a thing. I have these backwards. Where is it? What's this? Bit crusher. Okay, I need the control bit here, and my mouse downs are in the the wrong order. So backwards is increment, if you can delete it. Backwards is increment, and forwards is decrement. And I already removed it, right? Okay. And then go ahead, export that again. So generally what bit depth does is sort of, how would you say, store the fidelity kind of thing of the wave, right? So as we reduce that, we get this what sounds like noise. It's just that, yeah, there's nothing there kind of thing. So we notice the noise around 10. I think cassette tapes, professionally made cassette tapes, were about 12-bit. And when you'd make them at home, I think you got like 10-bit. That's why you got that like noise in the background. If you hear, what if it's like there's nothing there, right? What do we get? Nothing? Okay. What if it's like just low volume? Okay, so we can kind of hear what something like that sounds like. And it's just touching the signal, right? So if we boost it up, we get like this really truncated sound. But essentially, if you were like recording from the radio or dubbing, cross-dubbing on a tape deck, this is generally where you'd be sitting, I believe, if I recall correctly. So we have like a level of, I don't know where my volume went. I turn it down here. There's that like background noise floor we can hear. And as far as my understanding, 12-bit was like when you do the ADAT, it's sort of, you have some level of noise floor there, but it's almost unnoticeable. And then as we move into like way down, we get a whole lot of that truncation, especially when we turn the volume down. Let's just jump in here and we'll bring the signal back up. And anything beyond 8-bit really is gonna have a hard time pushing through. So that's it for this segment. I mean, again, it's been a while. Will I be doing another one soon? More likely than not. I want to keep going with this series. I want to keep it part of my cycle. My cycle is sort of a learning or an application or sort of a raw base of SynthEdit, and then the next one is SynthEdit application. So that's when I'll be doing my developments, and then there's SynthEdit marketing. So that's when I'll be doing the whole promotional, all the website, all that sort of stuff. So that's the cycle for the SynthEdit going forward. And I know I didn't get everything completely right. I'm not sure if I did. I mean, I'm just doing the best I can with my knowledge base. And yeah, hopefully we learned something here. These will be up in the Patreon. I don't really run the Patreon anymore. I find Patreon takes a lot. It take like too much for like, if I was a different kind of creator, it would be reasonable, but I'm just like doing this kind of stuff. This is pretty much all my Patreon has. So these files will end up probably somewhere else, maybe Discord subscription, or not Discord, like a Twitch subscription, and then you can get them from Discord, that sort of thing. But for now, they will be in the Patreon. And yeah, going forward, we're going to keep going with the documentation till it's done, and I do want to continue documentation into another series. But this is it for LoFi. Hopefully you learned something and you made your own application and found it super cool, like I do. And yeah. Check out my website, JWPsite.com, for my social links, latest news and updates, and public offerings. If you'd like to help support what I do, you can find my GoFundMe by first searching for JWP Fund to like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever makes you click or appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Until next time.